but come away short with the 2-1 loss.
Yeah, and that's just, that's just the story of our season so far. I mean, 0-3 isn't an impossible hole to climb out of. It's definitely not one you want to be in, but you definitely want to be in a situation where at least you're playing good soccer, and the calls always even out as the season goes on. I mean, we've all seen it happen before. So eventually we'll start to get some of those calls, and as long as we stick to it, I think everybody's, for the most part, positive. I think the coaches have been doing a good job. I think the players are working their tails off. We're just not getting the results that we want, but we're creating chances and playing good soccer. So we're going to keep at it.
Comment on the battle with Perez up front and the other attackers.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to hear what I'm going to say about Perez. I'll probably get fined. If there's two things I do, before my career's over, it's make sure he never scores another goal and beat Portland one more time.
What did you see on the two PKs? It looked like you guys protested the second one pretty significantly there on the back line.
Yeah, all I saw, I was pretty close, and I saw him poke the ball away, and Perez leaned into him the entire time. The first one I couldn't tell you, but I think at this point you kind of got to do a little soul searching and figure out, are you doing enough to help the team win games? And from a personal standpoint, I think I got to do better. Maybe I could have shifted over and help both of those guys so they didn't feel like they needed to go to ground at that time. And then distribution out of the back. Obviously, I think I could have done better with that today. But I think everybody's kind of doing that same thing. Like, what could I have done to help the team pull out at least one win out of these three?
And how important is it after that soul searching to move on and know that the next game is just as important, and that can change things?
Yeah, the worst part is no game this following weekend. I think you're right. When there's a game on the horizon, you're quickly looking to recover, quickly get back into practice. Figure out what you did wrong during the game, build on what you did right, and move on. So, maybe this break comes at a bad time, but I think we're all pros, and we'll definitely watch some of these MLS games on the weekend, tomorrow, and figure out what we can do better.
Is the most frustrating part that you bossed a bunch of these three games? You had possessions, had chances, and you're now 0-3.
Yeah, but isn't that the joy and the frustrating part about soccer? It can go so quickly against you. One play here or there, a ball slipping through somebody's legs, a goalie's hands, a bad pass back, something, that just ruins a perfect game for you. But that's why we love it as well. So again, we've got a pretty veteran team. Even our young guys have been through a lot. So I have no doubt we're gonna get over this.
Chippy game. I think Vancouver had 10 fouls even in the first half alone. Do you wish that they would have handled it a little bit differently, refereeing-wise, to open things up, or how do you think it could have gone differently in that way?
I don't mind chippy games at all, as long as it's going both ways. And when forwards are flopping on the ground, acting like they got elbowed in the head, that bothers me a little bit. So if the ref wants to keep it chippy on both sides, it's a Cascadia game. We all know what to expect. We're not naive here, but just let it go both ways. And I think that was the only frustrating part.
Thanks, guys.
Great. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.